Okay, I'm looking up at some of the students, and it seems to me like there might be a little bit of challenge with regards to some of the data. So I wanted to put together this video and make sure that everybody understands exactly what's going on with waves. First of all, hopefully you've done the first parts of a wave, and then you realize and recognize that the wavelength is from one end of the top of a crest to the other top of the next crest, or trough to trough. It may have been a little bit confusing, but amplitude should be from the midline and either up or down. And then the crest is at the top of the wave and the trough is at the bottom of the wave. So for this one, it says in the top left box, choose oscillate. Choose no end. Choose damping to none. And then answer your questions. The one thing you might want to do is put everything in slow motion, because that actually will probably make it easier for you to recognize and see what's going on. You're also going to want to use the ruler for this one. You don't really need the up and down ruler, just the side to side. And what it's going to do is explore how amplitude and wavelength are related. So it says put the amplitude to 0.75, which I've done, and the frequency to 1.6. So I'm going to move that up by the slider right here to 1.6. Then I'm just going to watch, and I'm going to make my wave this beginning wave be at the very top. And I'm going to pause right there. When I hit pause, I'm going to move my ruler to the very top of the crest of the wave. And I'm going to measure from here all the way to the other side to the other crest. I'm going to say it's approximately 4. And if you put 4, you'll get green. It's not inches, like I see some people putting inches, it's centimeters, and it says cm right there. So a good observation would be kind of appropriate. Then what we're going to do is we're going to move our wavelength, or our amplitude to 0.9. We're going to restart, let it calibrate, let it kind of go a couple of waves, and then we're going to pause it again, and then we're going to measure. And pause right there. Take your ruler, move it around, and measure from one end all the way to the other, and we're looking like, again, it's about 4. So what we're noticing is that no matter what you put your amplitude on, your frequency is going to be the same. So frequency is not affected by amplitude. I'm going to let you guys pick the other ones and then answer the questions. And then we're going to go to the next one. It says explore frequency, how frequency affects the wavelength. So it says put the amplitude to 0.75. Put the frequency to 1.4. And we're going to hit play and let it calibrate. And we're going to hit pause, and we're going to go ahead and grab that number. And it looks like we're at about probably 4.5 centimeters. It's going to put 4.5 centimeters on number 10. And if you put 4.5 or 4.5 cm, you'll probably get it right. And it says to move. See, keep the amplitude to 0.75, but move the frequency to 1.8. And go ahead and let it calibrate. You can take it off slow motion for a little bit. And stop. So this one actually is getting different. This one looks like it's about 3.5 centimeters. So if on number 11, you write 3.5. So now you can kind of see there's difference. So as the frequency increases from 1.4 to 1.8, the wavelength actually gets shorter. And so this is what we would actually call an inverse relationship. That's a question that you're going to get later on. A direct relationship means if one goes up, the other goes up. And inverse is one goes up, the other goes down. Or if one goes down, the other goes up. So inverse relationship is what this one is. So let me move down, and again, make sure you're answering all of the questions. Make a prediction on number 16. Now what you're gonna do is I'm gonna hit restart right here. Take my rule off just for a second. It says select oscillate at the top left. oscillate, no end, slow motion, damping to none, tension to high, amplitude to 1.0, frequency to 2.0, and hit play. So I'm gonna let it kind of go through a couple cycles right there. And then we're gonna use the ruler. And it says we're gonna use a vertical ruler only. So we're gonna move this one and get it out of the way. I'm gonna move it down to the bottom. So now what we're doing is we're looking at the amplitude and we're gonna be measuring. Now remember, and this is just a little bit of a kind of a reminder. So this right here is your midline. And remember, the amplitude is going from the midline to the trough. So it says use only the vertical horizontal ruler. Let's see. And what vertical aspect of the wave is the amplitude? Try to measure the amplitude of this wave when paused. Draw your observations with the measurement. So it says right here, go ahead and pause it right there. Now what you want to do is put the 0 mark right at the midline and then go up. And you'll notice it says the amplitude is 1. Well, you actually put the amplitude at 1 centimeter, so that's good. Now for your data, it says draw out a wave with at least 2 crests and the midline. Label the amplitude, crest, and trough. For amplitude, include the measurement on the label. So let me do this. I'm going to move this over here. Go to background. What you're going to do is you're going to end up drawing what you see where you've got a wave with at least 2 crests. Your midline, you're going to label crest, label trough, and then label your amplitude, which is right here, and then write 1.0 cm. So that's what you're going to end up doing for this answer. And I'm going to kind of grade you on whether you get everything labeled or not. So amplitude, crest, trough, and then what is the label? Then you're going to do the same thing. And you have to draw it again, but this time you have to move your amplitude to 0.5. And your frequency to 1.0. So you're gonna let it run. You can go normal and then hit pause. And then you're gonna do the same thing. And this time, you'll notice that your amplitude is 0.5 centimeters. And it says the same exact thing. Draw it away with at least 2 crests in the midline, label the amplitude, crest, trough, and then amplitude, record the measurement in there as well. Go ahead and answer question number 19, explaining the simulation, and then define the word amplitude. Since I've already kind of explained how to do this, I think I'm gonna have the same thing, but this time, let me go ahead and do this. So oscillate, no end, slow motion, damping no, tension high, amplitude is 1.0, frequency is 2.0. This time we're using a vertical measurement. I'm going to put that right there. And then we're also going to use the timer, and I'm going to put it right here. Then it says count the waves that pass the ruler. So I'm going to put it exactly like they have it. So put the 1 mark right at the midline. And then every time that you see a wave pass right through the ruler, that's going to count as a wave going through. So I'm going to start right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I would keep going, et cetera, et cetera. Now you'll notice the timer is going super slow because you're in slow motion. If you want to go normal, it looks a little bit fast, and you could probably count and go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you would end up having 20 waves in 10 seconds. Oopsies. So pretty much you put on number 21, you'd have 20. And if you get that right, then there you go. Then you're going to change from 1 amplitude to 1.5 hertz, count how many in 10 seconds. Same thing. Just as just to let you know, it is going to be different. It says 15, but you double check it. Answer the questions, and then you're going to do the last one where you're going to set the amplitude and frequency to 1.25 and 3.0 and do that one. Get all your measurements, do the best you can. I'll hand grade a lot of them. And then answer the last few questions, including the extension. Those are your challenge questions. Because we're only doing the lecture and then the video and then the questions and then the lab for the whole week. I'm actually really, really looking forward to the extension to really push you guys, okay? Friday's quiz is going to be on this information. Make sure that you study for it. Make sure you get all of your information and all of your assignments in before Sunday, 11:59. If you have any questions, email me. Other than that, good luck.